everybody down in Louisiana right now, or just in that Gulf region, who are experiencing the Hurricane Ida.
Yeah.
Man, like it's so crazy to like I'm here. I'm here in Maryland, and it's raining here, and I remember earlier today looking outside the window and be like, "Yo, it's raining so hard. This is so crazy." It's really not. There, people in Louisiana, I've seen like pictures and videos of everything that's going on there, like water 12 feet above like sea level or above ground level. It's absolutely insane. So I just got to be thankful that like you know we could be here doing this podcast right now in the safety of our own homes, and there are a lot of people right now who don't have this luxury. So prayers out to everybody down in the Louisiana area and the Gulf Coast who are dealing with Hurricane Ida right now.
Yeah, for sure. The only thing I can add on to that is, yeah, I don't know. But one day soon, that might actually be us, you know. So I think we, you know, as much as we can, you know, I obviously sympathize, and you know, yeah, it's a fucked up scenario. That's everything that's going on with Ida, and like clearly like off the remnants of, you know, Katrina. Is like shit still isn't right from Katrina, right? Like shit is still fucked up in New Orleans because of Katrina. But you know, as this you know, as people like to joke about, like, oh well, you know, climate change might be good. You know, it's these warm days. You know, okay, well, you get all this crazy fucking weather and shit, and you know, when your fucking
Yeah.
house is, you know, under 13 feet of rainfall, then maybe maybe it's not such a great thing. But you know, um, and I remember this happened when we were talking about Kobe, right? When Kobe passed away, and I had kind of like this smile on my face. That doesn't mean I'm happy about the situation. It just means I don't know what the fuck else to do. This is just what happens. And as I can tie this into a series, I can tie this into Love Island, as we love to talk about here on the show. Now that I'm into it, Amber in season 5, she also laughs oddly at fucking weird things when there's nothing to really like laugh at. She like smiles and she's, I don't know, it's like fucking nervous tick. It's not because I'm happy about the situation. It's I don't know what the fuck else to
Yeah.
do, which is
Hey,
which
yo,
I can
also,
definitely
have you
sympathize with it.
noticed that, like, so again, this is UK Love Island season 5. Have you noticed that, like, I don't know if she's from like Ireland or Wales or Dublin or wherever the fuck, but instead of saying like she says us.
No,
Have
I
you
have
noticed
not
that?
noticed that. No.
Oh, start paying attention. Because, like, whenever she's referring to herself, like she's like, oh, you lied to us. You told us that you loved us.
Weird.
They say us in place of like I.
Are you sure it's a they thing and not just a not
Yeah,
just an
because I
Amber
so
thing? Maybe it's
I've
more of a
watched
schizophrenic thing than it is a.
no, I've watched several seasons of and I forget where exactly she's from, but like
Yeah.
again I forget whether it's like Dublin or Scotland, or I think it's Scotland. But I've seen other seasons where like people from that like region, like they also say us, like, oh, like, oh, get a drink for us, but instead of saying like me or I would like this, we would like this. Start
Weird.
paying attention to the way she speaks. It's gonna make the show even more funny.
Oh, yeah, I will. And I'll report back. How you
But
feeling,
yeah,
man?
other than that, like I was saying, man, this week I don't know what it is. Like there's been nothing exciting in theaters on TV. There's been no like
Oh,
new releases for me
I
that were
I
dope.
do not concur. Look, Candyman just came out. Excited about that one. Haven't seen it. We were supposed to do it for the press play this week, but we both were
Yeah,
just like, can't get out there. And you with
yeah.
your injury, it was just hard for you to get around these days. So yeah, you got that, and then this coming up this week, and that actually what you just said leads perfectly into this week, next week. Um, uh, so we have Candyman coming out that came out last weekend or last week rather, and this week we've got Shang-Chi actually premiering this Friday, which I'm super excited about. Can't wait until Shang-Chi. I've heard great things about it. Now, how is it pronounced? Now, I've heard people kind of go out of their way to say Shang-Chi. I don't know if that's maybe the correct way to say it. and maybe Shang is just the very American way to go about things. But we have Shang-Chi or Shang-Chi, however you want to go with it, and The Legend of the Ten Rings that's coming out September 3rd, and Kate comes out the week after, which we
that movie looks like pure shit.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you'll love it once you watch it. But in other things to talk about for this week, man. Weirdly enough, I binged John Wick this week. I've never watched all three films. I think I watched like half of the first one, and then that was it. And then the rest of it was just hearsay from everybody else. The
first one for me. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What
no, you can go. You can go.
So the first one for me is a instant classic. Like it's going to be one of those like classic movies that if ever it's on TV, you got to watch it. And Keanu has a string of these, right? But the first John Wick movie was just so fucking dope. The violence, the action, just the charm of it all. Instant classic for sure. The second one felt a bit poppy. Let's bring in some like big names. Let's bring in some like, let's bring in Common. Let's bring in Ruby Rose. Let's bring in some like people who can help like, market this thing. And now granted, I think Common's a very good actor. Ruby Rose, not so much, but they're faces you recognize who can help really push this thing through and drive those box office numbers up, right? I thought the third one was getting back to like the vibe of the original, where it's like, it's intense. There's story behind it. It's purposeful. It's more so about like the action and the intensity, and it's just really like fun ride. I cannot fucking wait for the fourth installment. But yeah, anyway, what did you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I on the surface, yeah, I can't really say. Look, it kind of solidified sort of like my state of mind, and this was like solidified when we watched Suicide Squad, right? The Suicide Squad with James Gunn's version of the Suicide Squad. I just don't have. I don't, whatever that was in me that loved just like mindless action of the begone era of the 80s and maybe mid 90s, I guess. I don't have that anymore, man. I don't, whenever I just see like mindless action, I'm just like, why am I watching this? This is, what use is this to my existence as a human being? Not much. It's not much use. So watching John Wick, I don't even know what inspired me to watch it. I just was like, I just need something to throw on. And I've always said I wanted to kind of just see what the big deal about what John Wick was. But I will have to admit, watching them separately is completely different than watching them all together. Because when you watch them all together, you at least start to understand the main themes that pervade the series that actually is something to think about outside of just the fucking headshot after headshot after headshot, right? Or how many ways can you fucking kill somebody, right? It's like this idea of consequences, right? That Wick lives by in this world of just rules, right? That you have to abide by the rules. But what happens when you or somebody else fringes upon those rules? What's the process then? What if the people in charge infringe upon the rules or have created this world that is inherently not fair, and so they've created the rules to sort of bend in their favor regardless? Like, what do you do then? Do you just still blindly stick with the rules because they made it up and this is just how shit is? Or do you just create your own fucking road? So yeah, it took watching 3 movies for me to really sort of like understand that and kind of appreciate that. Is it my cup of tea? Not really. I don't really care for the John Wick type shit anymore. But I don't know. Whatever. It's something to watch, I guess. But I will say that the third one didn't really make much sense to me because the who's the guy who's in charge of the Continental?
I see his face.
I can't remember what the fuck his name is, but his story arc specifically made absolutely no fucking sense.
It's been a while since I've seen it, so you got to refresh me a little bit.
So in the first one, he helps John out.
He was like the
and
hotel manager,
he's
right?
the hotel. Yeah, he's the hotel manager. And he helps John out and stuff like that. But he mainly is just there to kind of keep order of shit. Second one, he John kills the dude at the Continental. Spoiler alert for, I guess, anybody who hasn't watched John Wick yet. He kills the dude at the Continental, and so the dude's like, "Oh shit, you infringed upon the rules, so therefore, I've gotta, excommunicate you, but I'll give you an hour head start." At the end of the third one, though, the dude basically turns his back on John and shoots John, and John somehow fucking falls off of like a 10-story building to the street below, and somehow lives, I guess, with just like scratches. Somehow there's no like broken bones or anything. Okay, but taking the fact that John Wick might actually be Goku, taking that out of the picture, it did make sense that he did the turn in the third movie, this guy who manages the Continental, because it's like, well, if you wanted to kill John, or if you didn't care about his life, why did you give him the hour to begin with? Like at the beginning of at the end of the second movie, like, are you tracking what I'm saying here?
Yeah, it's like, you know what? So he gave him that hour, right? Because like I think that him and John did have like a prior relationship.
Yeah, like a friendship,
John was
right?
Involved, right? Yeah, they cared about each other. So it was like, you know what? I care about you enough to give you an hour, but I can break the rules a little bit, but I can't go so far as to where now I'm going to be in your position and they're going to come for me too.
Well, but he knew that's what was going to be the case if he gave John the hour. So from the beginning, why give him the hour when you broke the rules because you gave him the hour? So you knew that they were going to come for you regardless. So it's like, well, why do it in the first place? Which I didn't understand.
Yeah, I mean, like I think there are a lot of situations where it's like, bending the rules and breaking the rules are a little bit different, right? Like I think giving him the hour, I bent the rules a little bit. I should have set this thing in motion right away. I waited until 5 o'clock. I should have did it at 4 p.m., right? But breaking the rule is like, I'm not even going to set the thing in motion at all. I'm going to try and hide it. I'm going to try and bury it. I'm going to try and cover for this guy. I look at it as like he bent the rule. He didn't break it. In the third installment, I think that's where he like broke the rule and was like, you know what? Like now, because of our relationship, I'm willing to break the rules and suffer like whatever consequences coming towards me. I'm going to try and help you out as much because I know that consequences coming to me are probably far less great than the consequences that are coming to you. But this is John Wick we're talking about. What did he say at the end of that movie? Oh, that was the hardest thing in the world. He was like, send them, I'll kill them all. I want to watch that movie tonight.
What's so funny about movies like this is like they like I now I'm starting to wonder like why people like shit like that so much, of like, send everybody, I'll kill them all. Is that like something like primal within ourselves that we're like that? So it's something about somebody who's against everybody else and it has to like take on all oncomers that like makes us think, oh, this shit is hard, like this person goes hard. But it's really kind of
I think it's why we love like competitive sports, right? Like you love to see a running back just go like, run down the middle, or, go head up with like a defender, or you love to see a linebacker just blitz through the offensive line and just fucking, drop the hammer on a quarterback. Like you just love to see these battles, right? So in a situation like this, one guy essentially going against this army of assassins, and in real life he'd probably be dead in like a couple of hours, but it's just seeing his the fight, right? Like no matter what my obstacles or challenges are, I'm still fighting back. I think people always love that. Now obviously in films it's theatrical, it's gimmicky, it's silly and highly unrealistic, but it's just fun to watch.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Like I'm sorry,
film snobs like you keep your Gone with the Wind.
Whoa!
And you're
first. There's so many things being said right now. I gotta like address them all. First of all, film snob. What the fuck? Like I still love Steven Seagal movies. How am I a film snob?
You're like, oh, I don't have it in me for the senseless violence anymore.
No,
I like thoughtful, thought-provoking drama.
Is that, I don't understand what how does that make me a film snob?
It just does. Listen, I love John Wick. Okay, I can't wait for the fourth
Yeah,
movie.
I'm not faulting you for loving John. I never said at any point that it's bad to like John Wick. In fact, I watched the entire fucking series. Like
No, you
I'm
know what?
not
When
turning my
someone
nose
says
up.
they don't like something I like, I view that as an insult.
Oh, interesting. Very
I'm kidding.
interesting, considering our conversation that we had before the podcast.
You're
But
filmophobic because you don't like what I like. From now on, if people don't like
I
the
think,
movies or shows I like, I'm just gonna
yeah.
label them filmophobics.
Well, filmophobe. All right, I'm not even. I'm just gonna move on. I was gonna try to tackle that. I was like, well, that's gonna go sideways very
There's
quickly.
no logic
Yeah.
behind it. It's just like whenever most people just label somebody something else, there's no logic behind it. I just think that you are. Meh.
There's sometimes logic behind it. I don't think that there's not usually logic behind it.
Nope, you're filmophobic.
Okay. All right. Anywho, look, we've got some other news, man, in the industry, as they say. Ghostbusters Afterlife delayed a week. So Sony basically announced that Ghostbusters Afterlife, instead of being out on November 19th, November 20th. Probably because some of the other films that are being released are being sort of shuttled around. So right now, Maverick, or Top Gun Maverick, which is the Top Gun sequels starring Tom Cruise, has moved off of November 19th of this year to sometime in 2022. Is apparently the decision, and that comes after like a lot of movies are moving. So Mission Impossible is moving, Jackass Forever is moving, all to, I think, 2022. Now, interesting. So they're moving all of these movies with the hopes that, okay, like, well, this Delta variant shit is getting OC. Like, let's just move these movies because we think that we're gonna have better success at some other point in 2022. My question has remained since basically like the beginning of COVID, and all the theaters started to shut down, and we had that sort of start and stop sort of period with the movie theaters where it's like, we think we're going to open like next month. No, we're not going to open next month. We're going to open like 3 months from now. No, we're not going to open 3 months from now. We're going to open like a year from, like, we went through that start and stop period. But the question I had the entire time was, what the fuck is it about this COVID situation that you think is going to change, or that the situation is going to change? If you had actually told me like a year ago that like we'd get the vaccines out so quick, I'd have been like, oh, okay, so then that's the thing that you guys are all sort of like looking for. But like in the heart of the summer of last year, at no point was it like a strong indication that we definitely get the vaccine out. It was like, we hope, but there's like no real strong indication. So I kept wondering like, well, why would you move these movies around if you don't actually fucking know? And now my thought process is, well, what the fuck? Like, what's making you think that more people are going to get vaccinated? The fucking crazies are out there fucking spazzing the fuck out just because they're being told to wear a fucking mask. So what's making you think that this whole vaccine thing is going to go any better? Like, what's to say that this time next year it's going to be a better scenario? So why not just fucking release your movies now? It's kind of all the fucking same. Like, I don't I don't understand like what you think is going to be the major difference here.
So I think it's all about timing, right? It's about when are we going to be able to maximize our profit? Like when is consumer confidence going to be at its highest? And we want to meet that high consumer confidence, right? Right now, is there a lot of consumer confidence in going to the movie theater? No, not really. So it would be wise for movie theaters to push it back because again, they want to maximize profit. So all right, let's delay this thing 3 months. Let's delay this thing 6-9 months. Let's continue to watch, the news cycles and read the polls, and let's do all the things. Let's do the quiz on Instagram to see if people go see this movie in theaters, right? Whatever data we can collect to be able to gauge consumer confidence to whether people will go to theaters to see the thing. Until we feel comfortable with that, we're going to delay it. So from a business revenue perspective, it makes sense. From a social perspective, I don't know if much is going to change between now and March of 2022 or like whenever the fuck that will
But doesn't the social dictate the financial side of it? Like because like it's basically just like who the fuck knows what's going to go on next year. In fact, with how the Delta variant is like sort of moving, it's kind of a likelihood that it's going to be around forever. Like even if you are vaccinated, still fucking causing issues out here, right?
Yeah.
And the more we stay in this sort of land of a lot of people aren't, or an unhealthy amount of people aren't getting vaccinated, it's going to reduce the effectiveness of the vaccines. And not to mention if we need booster shots, not to mention if the vaccine is just rendered useless altogether by this, you know, any sort of the Delta variant or any new variants that are out there, the fucking Loki variant, you know, who really fucking knows? So it's kind of just like you're hedging your bets, but you actually might be headed towards a worse situation than you actually are now. Like you literally flip a coin, and that's, you know, who the fuck's to say what's going to happen next year, especially with how random everything seems to be happening right now. Or not random.
So I think one is rooted in logic, the other is rooted in like probability, which is, you know, usually unpredictable, right? The logic tells you
logic, but okay.
Well, I mean, there's probability, sure, it's rooted in logic, but again, there's like uncertainty that you have to factor into that, and sometimes the uncertainty will outweigh like even your best predictions, right? So the logic says delay the movie 3, 6, 9 months until consumer confidence is high and going back to the theaters, and that's when we'll be able to maximize our revenue.
The basis for that argument I'm saying is false, right? Like when consumer confidence is not going to be higher in like a year from now. In fact, all likelihood is pointing to it's not going to be higher a year from now. It's actually probably going to be worse because
maybe I went to a movie this year. I never thought I'd go to a movie theater again. I've been like 3 times since.
No, for sure. I'm not saying that you wouldn't go to a theater. What I'm saying is they're hoping our situation changes, meaning that the COVID-19 isn't really as much of a thing as it is now as it will be a year from now. My point is like, no, there is nothing indicating as of right now that that's going to be the case, that it's very much going to be a part of the conversation. So it's like, if you move all these movies to 2022, well, now you're just delaying everything like another year, meaning that all those releases that you had this year, you're not moving to next year. All those movies you were supposed to be working on this year, now you're going to have to be working on next. Like it's just a never. And then like, are you just going to have 1 year where you're going to put out like 55 movies from one like studio because they just, you know, it's what?
I disagree with the notion that like a lot won't change, right? Do I know what it's going to be? No, but like, I mean, if we look at the past year alone, a lot has changed. So I think if you look at where we are September 1st, 2022, right? If we look at, September 1st, 2021, if we look at September 1st, 2022, I mean, there could be a shit ton of change that happens that will increase vaccination rates, that'll increase, you know, consumer confidence going back to the movie theaters, or maybe just every company would be like, hey, you know what, fuck that movie theater shit, we're going to go fully digital. I think a lot can change. What that change would be, I have no idea. But if I'm, you know, MGM, Universal, Annapurna Pictures, whoever the fuck, and I have a big film coming out, one of those like tentpole films, do I feel comfortable putting it out this Friday? Let's delay the thing until like March just to see. And maybe like, and if you delay the thing until March, shit, maybe you drop it this October. Maybe you change that. Maybe you drop it November. Maybe you drop it December. But you give yourself enough time to plan and make decisions once like more information is available. So I think it's a smart thing to do, but who knows what will happen. You know what they should do, bro? If they say, you know, you get a vaccine, we'll up your credit score 50 points. Do you know how many people be vaccinated by now? Or if you get the vaccine and it will reduce $10,000 of your student loans, bro, I'd get the double shot. Give me the double on the rocks. And the booster.
The problem might be that a decent amount of the people who are saying they're not getting the vaccine might not be likely to have college debt because they perchance have not been to college. Also, they might not give a fuck about their credit report. So
sure. Then for those people, for those people, get the vaccine and we'll overturn your last conviction. You know what I mean?
Oh, there you go. Okay, now you're winning. Now you're winning. That's a winning argument.
We'll forget that, your unpaid taxes or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. You just gotta find whatever the pressure point is, like how like the villains do in every movie. Like they just gotta find where that pressure point is and then apply pressure to that exact point. Is your cousin on life support? Well, we can help out with that situation. All you gotta do is get this jab. That's it. That's
whatever. They need to just start making it, making the reasons to get vaccinated very personal. Like, man, you trying to beat that case? We'll help you beat it.
We got you.
Just
B.
get vaccinated.
We got you, B. Just get this shot real quick.
You got you were trafficking what across state? Don't even worry about it. We'll forget we saw it.
You know what they should do? They should do like the fucking, like the fucking ambulance lawyers, like they're like, the commercials.
Yeah.
You got a low credit score? We can take care of that. Just get this vaccine. Hey, life's got you down, getting a little bit of a depression. We got those meds. All you got to do is get this vaccine. You're just like fucking, just like endless shit of just whatever the fucking
just
thing
endless,
is.
Yeah.
I know you've seen the guy who looks like, Joe Exotic. I know you've seen his commercials.
Was it the guy who was like, "Don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining"? Call injury lawyer Baker and Baker. Like, I can't dial all those numbers.
They should get that dude to fucking start promoting the vaccine. Like, hey,
no, you know who they should get it? R.I.P. to the OxyClean guy. If he were promoting the vaccine, oh my God, everybody would be vaccinated. He was. I fucking love that guy.
For the low cost of $19.99, 3 installments, everybody would be vaccinated.
He could sell anything. I miss that guy.
Yeah. Him and his lush beard. He had a very lush beard.
Yeah.
Or in his place, they should get the ShamWow guy. That guy, he's pretty effective too.
With the eye.
Yeah.
With the. It looks like it's a side effect. Like, this is not a side effect. I was born this way. Get the vaccine today. You know what? If you buy now, we'll give you 3 vaccines for the price of 1.
Holy fuck. All right, let's move the fuck on.
It's so hard to imitate those guys because they're so fucking good at what they do.
Yeah, holy shit. Okay, so in other news, Seinfeld is actually coming to Netflix in October, man. Were you ever a big Seinfeld fan? Do you know, are you intimately familiar with Seinfeld?
Yeah, I mean, I know.
I don't like how you. I gotta know. I don't know. Jesus, it was this consternation over Seinfeld.
It's like when you're dating a girl who you don't love, and she asks you if you love her. You're just like, well, I don't know. Do I love Seinfeld? No. Do I see a future with Seinfeld? No. Will I watch a few episodes? Sure. Is there Seinfeld for me? It's like, it's great if I want to put something on, but I don't want to pay attention. Like, I don't want to pay full attention to whatever's on the TV, but I would just like background noise. Mm-hmm. If Seinfeld comes on Netflix, I'll put it on. All I know is that means Jerry Seinfeld is going to be even way more richer than he already is.
Well, I mean, they already signed the deal with Netflix, so I feel like that ship is already sailed. So, I think I'm gonna binge it. Just because I feel like I need to binge it once. The whole
thing?
Yeah, the whole thing. It's 180 episodes. Look, we've watched longer, spans of shows. The Office.
The next season of UK Love Island is 179 episodes, so they're on par.
Yeah, wait, one season is 179 episodes?
Yeah. I'm kidding. No, I'm fucking
I was like, what the fuck could you possibly be doing for 179 episodes? Fuck everything about that.
400 new people are coming into the villa.
It's just like an entire country. They're just tracking the love habits of an entire country.
All of Lithuania is coming into the villa.
Everybody gets to take 3 months off of work to film Love Island.
You get the couple with 12 people this time. I like to recouple with these 12 girls because all of them are amazing.
Do you know how lazy the challenges would be? It would just be like Yo, just sit in the sun. All right, just go fucking get a tan. That's the challenge for the day. Just fucking get a tan. That's all.
The
we
sessions
got.
where they vote people off of like 90 people will leave the villa immediately. Like, what the fuck is this?
And we are not paying for transportation. You gotta pay for your way out.
90 of you will have to walk back to Lithuania. And shout out to all the people of Lithuania. We love you guys. It was just the first country that came to mind.
Holy shit. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Holy fuck. Okay. So yeah, Seinfeld's coming to Netflix in October. Did you see that trailer for Vacation Friends with what's his name, Rel, as well as like John Cena? And what's her name? Yvonne, I think Orgy, I think is her name. She was on what's Issa Rae shows? Insecure. Yeah.
So no, is that John? That is John Cena. Yeah, it's like Yvonne Orgy. Rough name to have growing up, because I'm pretty sure the kids made fun of that.
Well, she's Nigerian.
It looks like Orgy.
She's Nigerian, so she's got tough skin. She could give a fuck. So yeah, she's ready to rock. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I had a joke for that, but
I felt the pause. I was like, oh god, here we go.
But I'll leave that alone.
Okay.
You're Nigerian, right?
No.
Where are you from?
Ghana. Yeah, my family's from Ghana.
Ghana, my bad. I should have fucking known that.
I'm fucking kidding. Yes, I am fucking Nigerian. What the hell?
Yeah, okay, that's
Jesus
what I thought.
Christ.
I'm like, this whole time I've been thinking you're Nigerian.
Look at you being so apologetic. Oh, I'm so sorry, man. I should have known. Why the fuck did I not know?
I'm so sorry. I have black friends, and you know,
everybody just looks alike, man. It's not my fault. You guys look alike. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
But no. So I've seen it. I haven't seen the trailer for it. Shout out to Lil Rel, who for some reason just keeps popping up. You know what I mean? I thought he was gone for a while, but he just keeps popping up. After, what was that movie, the horror movie that he was in?
Get Out?
Us? Oh, Get Out. Yeah. I was like, I'll probably never see this guy again. And
he'd been around for a minute at that point. In fact, I feel like that was kind of when he just like, oh shit, he's like here for real. And then he was in a few other movies.
So I saw Free Guy recently.
Oh, he's in Free Guy?
He's in Free Guy. Really good movie, actually.
Did you see that at the theaters?
Yeah.
Shit, dude. Well, all right, thanks for telling me. I could have watched.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, it was just the spur of the moment. I think it was on like my birthday.
You said my bad with the same vigor as you would like somebody who's like who you really don't want to fuck with, but they're like, all right, I guess I gotta fucking pay this person. like you definitely didn't want me to come, but you're like, I mean, all right, my bad. It's all good.
We went on my birthday. I had the bum leg, so we're just like, you know what? Instead of going and sitting at home, let's just sit in a movie theater. Yeah. It is, what this movie managed to do is really, really interesting, because like there's not more there than what you get on the surface, right? But at the same time, it still manages to be like a very good film, great storyline, really good acting. It's fun to watch, and like there's no way you leave this movie. I would be surprised. I want to talk to someone who could watch this movie and say that they didn't have a good time. It's just a fun movie to watch, but it still has, there's still like something at the core.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so if Rel did his thing with Free Guy, then hopefully he's going to do the same thing with Vacation Friends. I think Vacation Friends is already out. Let me double check here my math here. Vacation Friends. This movie is.
Yeah, I think this is on Hulu. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've already seen this on Hulu.
Yeah, it's already out on Hulu. It came out on the 27th of August. I should have watched it. I don't know why I didn't. I guess I don't know. It screamed like, I don't know, just one of those movies that you just watch on a night that you're just like, I've literally got nothing else going on. Let's see what the fuck Vacation Friends is all about. But
anyways, this is when you've been scrolling for like 20 minutes and you're just like,
I give up.
And
I tap out.
And you're not ready to start like a new show, but like you don't want to watch like a shitty movie. You don't want to watch a documentary or like, you know, some sad shit about what's going on and like, you know, the economy or some political shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're just like, fuck, all right, Vacation Friends.
Yeah, and you've already watched all 179 episodes of the latest season of Love Island, so you're just like, all right, fuck it, I gotta do something new. All right, I gotta shake things
Yeah,
up.
I need to switch it up, or I'm gonna start talking with the British accent permanently and offending people.
So this sequel to Vacation Friends is going to be called Honeymoon Friends, which is basically just going to, I'm guessing, mimic the same sort of kind of storyline, which is John Cena and I forget the actress's name. I think something Hager, I believe is her name.
There's already a sequel
Meredith
plan.
Hagner. Yeah. That's the whole thing. What I'm saying is, there's a sequel to Vacation Friends going to be called Honeymoon Friends. Meredith Hagner is her name. She plays, I guess, John Cena's wife, and Lil Rel as well as Yvonne Orji are all coming back. I assume. Should be fun with hijinks that ensues. But also in sequel news, Shazam. This is one of those words I cannot just say unless I like prep to say it. Shazam 2 just finished filming. Says the director.
You can't say Shazam without
I can't say it. I gotta slow down when I say Shazam. But that's only because I've said it
is
like
that
4
your
times.
like your Achilles heel was Shazam?
It's not my Achilles.
Say Shazam
heel,
quick.
just-
Say it 3 times fast.
I can't. Shazam.
Do it. Just do it.
Shazam. I did it.
Do it again.
Shazam.
hear you.
Shazam. Damn it! I fucked the last
Oh
one
shit!
up.
Yeah, you fucked it up. Jeez, what? Hey,
It's
listen,
like- I'm sure you have
I don't
those
know
words, too.
why. Definitely, I can't think of one right now, but I definitely have those words. Like
Say
so
consciousness.
now, consciousness.
Fuck. All right. Say something
Yeah,
else.
I'm sure
eh?
I have. Yeah, what would be the word for me? Well, like Emily always says that I say shit weird. Like I say ambulance.
Yikes.
How do you say
that's
it?
Ambulance.
Yeah, you say ambulance. I say ambulance because it
I
is spelled LANCE. Lance. Ambulance.
Yeah, I don't think that's. So my significant other pronounces the word button, but she like kind of spells it out like phonetically. She says button. And I'm like, literally,
Yeah,
like she'll
what?
say it like that. I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Kind
Oh,
of
your
weird.
button. But she'll like, oh,
Literally,
your
she'll say
button.
it-
Your button.
Yes, she'll say it exactly. I'm like, I can't compete
No, we
this.
need another word for this.
But anyways,
sir.
Shazam 2 is done filming. Look, I just recently watched like 75% of the first one. It was kind of one of those movies, just kind of, I don't know what the hype was around it. It was kind of just okay. Like it wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It was just all right, you know? So I don't know why everybody's kind of like, oh my God, I can't believe Shazam 2 is going to come out. And it's just like, I'm sure it's going to be just more of the, and honestly, like the whole idea of there being like a fucking like quartet of the people there, it's kind of like, who gives a shit at the end of the day? you
Yeah,
know?
listen, I watched Shazam, the first one. I didn't even really want to watch it. I was just like, let me just get this shit over with.
Yeah.
What was I pleasantly surprised or thrilled or excited in any way? No. Am I like on the lookout for Shazam 2? Not at fucking all. But you know, congratulations to all the people who now have jobs because, or at least, congratulations to all the people who worked on the project. I'm sure you guys worked hard, but like, am I checking for that shit? Fuck no.
Yeah.
You know what movie I just recently heard is getting a green light for a sequel? Did you ever see Greenland, that movie with Gerard Butler, like the End of the World movie?
Never watched it.
Yeah. I don't know what you do. What sequel do you do about another like End of the World movie?
If we've moved to Mars at that point, you know, because we fucked our first planet up, and then we just proceed to fuck Mars up too.
Yeah, no, they just went to Greenland.
Redland is they just went to like is that the was that the oh damn, did you just give away the movie to me? I was gonna watch that tonight actually. Fuck.
What? Out of fucking nowhere, you're just gonna watch that tonight? That lie.
Could you imagine? Like, it's just out of nowhere. Just fuck.
Out of
I guess
nowhere.
I'm just watching Green Day.
I mean, no. There's more to it than that. But like, what do you do then?
I don't fucking know, dude. I excommunicate all of Gerard Butler's movies. I simply can't watch them.
No, 300 was fire.
Nah, I've kind of soured on 300. But in any event, look, let's hop into some.
But anyway.
Yeah, I kind of trailed off there. Thanks for letting me slide, Aaron. There are words,
had an aneurysm or something.
There are words that you fuck up that I just let slide, but all right. I guess that's what true friends do, right? They fucking criticize you for having
for no reason. Your deepest, darkest flaws. Your deepest insecurities.
Dude, let's talk real quick. Have you been watching the What If series? I actually talked about this last week on the podcast when I was solo, but I wanted to talk about the 4th episode of What If. Have you been watching it at all outside of the 4th episode?
So I was about to start it last week. Then I thought to myself, what if I didn't? So I did it.
I see what you did there. I see what you did.
Yeah.
What if I did? Nice. Clever.
Yeah, that was good.
Very clever.
Listen, I created that shit on the spot too.
Yeah, I could make fun of you for that too. That sounded like a brain aneurysm as well, but I'll let it go.
What? No, I said I created that shit on the spot.
No. No, I'm saying the whole idea of the joke overall, it felt like a brain aneurysm because it was terrible.
That was a beautiful joke.
Oh my God. Just
anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. You asked me to watch episode 4, so I did.
Yeah. Oh, is that weird? Oh, I thought you had more. I thought that was there was more to that story.
That's it.
Dude, episode 4 was really fucking interesting, dude. Really interesting. If you'd been watching this series, my thought with the series so far has been that it's been getting increasingly good, but it went from borderline boring to like, holy shit, this is actually super fucking interesting and great. And I don't know why they've done it kind of that way. Like the first one with Captain Carter was kind of a snooze fest. The second one with who the fuck did they have in the second one? What if episode 2 was if T'Challa was Star-Lord? That was all right. That was pretty good, but still kind of a snooze fest a little bit. Then 3 was pretty fucking good, where they basically like killed off like all of the Avengers, and kind of what the implications of all that was. And then this 4th one, which you just watched, was basically Doctor Strange going rogue, man. This dude basically, he basically wanted to keep the DM open. And so he was just like, look, I'll sacrifice the entire universe to keep this fucking DM chat going. All right. I will make sure that fucking, I will sacrifice all living creatures to ensure that I keep my boo warm by my side. And it was kind of dope. What'd you think?
I thought it was, I mean, sure, that is interesting, right? Like I will go to whatever lengths to regain and to save the one that I love. And clearly he was willing to, there was no consequence great enough for him to try and see this thing through. Which is not the Doctor Strange that we've seen in the live action films, who's like very poised, who's very tactical, who considers all possibilities. Before,
well, he's always been kind of arrogant though, and I think that's like the big idea with this episode, was that he was super fucking arrogant, that in thinking that he could just do this and.
And in the live action, right, we get the arrogant Doctor Strange who lost his hands, right, but he still has his mind and his heart, right, his ability for like empathy and compassion. And in the What If series, we get the Doctor Strange who's lost his heart, so to speak, right. So empathy, compassion, understanding, all those things go out the way, and it's just like, all right, well, I'm going to get the thing that I want, and I'm going to abuse my power to get it. I did think that was a really interesting take on it. More interesting than that, do you see the tie-in with Spider-Man Far From Home?
So I see the tie-in, or I see the possibility of the tie-in is how I put it. I still don't know if we kind of know how all this is going to shake loose because, and look, this is spoiler alert. We should have probably said that at the top, but this is spoiler alert for What If series. We are all speculating, I guess, after this episode that perhaps the Doctor Strange that we see in the Far From Home or No Way Home trailer is indeed this Sorcerer Supreme that we see in, in this episode of What If, in this fourth episode of What If. I don't know. I don't know. Because there's so many different directions they could go in. It really is just like picking your whatever fucking multiversal avenue you want to go. They could potentially go, and they could either make this the Doctor Strange we see in No Way From Home. They can make that the Sorcerer Supreme, or they could make that sort of just like a different version of Doctor Strange that is from like an alternate universe altogether, or they could make it one of like maybe the demons had taken over his body and perhaps like because he consumes all these demons in this What If episode, or I guess just different beings from different dimensions in his body from in this episode. So maybe one of them is taking over his body. Yeah, everybody's not everybody, but there's some people who are saying, oh, this is like Mephisto, like they did with WandaVision, that perhaps Doctor Strange is being controlled by Mephisto. I don't know. They could go in a number of fucking different directions. Don't know which one they're going to go in, but I for sure think that there's going to be some sort of tie-in with. I don't even just think just this episode, but I think the What If series overall, because I think the Watcher might get involved at some point, because they kind of tease it that he was like, no, I'm not getting it. Yo, one of the bleakest endings to any sort of piece of Marvel outside of this side of Infinity War, that was a dark ending, dude. Holy shit.
To this episode?
Yeah, dude. What were your thoughts on the end of the episode?
Yeah, I mean,
Did you watch the end? Did you see the end?
No. Dude, I couldn't. That shit was. So
I knew
I think
exactly.
I think I have like 7 minutes left.
Jesus Christ, dude.
On the episode. Dude, it was boring as fuck.
It was boring?
Yeah, very. Yeah.
How do you say it's boring? Okay, break this down for me. Let me understand, because I want to understand where you're coming from. How would you say this is boring?
So one thing that it was, honestly, because like so you know me, I love anime, right? But I don't like just like manga style of anime. So whenever I watch stuff like this, I'm just immediately like visually turned off by it. I just don't think the art looks good, and if the art doesn't look good, it's really hard for me to get into like any type of like animated series. Also, I just didn't care for the story. Like what if he lost his heart instead of his hands, and like the storyline just did not appeal to me. And I just remember watching it and I was just like, it was a bit of a snooze fest for me. And then I had fries in the oven. I needed to refill my glass of wine. So I was just like, yeah. And then we had like 2 minutes before the podcast started. So I was like, do I do this or do I just enjoy my fries and wine and jump on the podcast? So here we are. But I might. Okay. I'll finish those 7 minutes and then we can talk about it. But yeah, after this episode, you tell me what happens at the end.
Well, I mean, I don't want to necessarily ruin it for you, but it basically is just like.
Don't worry about it. You can ruin it.
Well, basically,
I won't watch.
Basically, like he ends up sort of. I don't even know what part you left off at, but he basically ends up taking in sort of the good Doctor Strange. He ends up sort of just kind of taking him over, and he was able to bring, and I forget her name, but she was played by Rachel McAdams. I think I forget what her name is, but his love interest. He's able to bring her back, only for her to be like, "What the fuck is happening?" Because he then starts turning into this sort of like crazy looking demon thing, because he's using all the powers that are in him from all the things that he sort of took into his body. So she's like, what the fuck is happening right now? And then everything just starts to sort of dissipate because because apparently, like, you know, he's just fucked up the natural order of things. And then the Watcher comes in, and then he can, for whatever reason, I guess because he's that powerful at that point, he sees the Watcher and he's like, "Yo, help me out, fam." And the Watcher's like, "Ooh, I'd love to, but I can't." And then literally the universe implodes on itself and is done. Bleak ending. No words, nothing.
Damn.
Yo, you
Yeah,
were the worst, all right.
I just didn't find it interesting at all.
Fair enough, dude. Fair enough. I don't know. I personally thought it was not only one of the best episodes of, not even argue, but I think it is the best episode of What If so far. But I also think it's going to have like implications for throughout both the MCU overall, but also throughout the rest of the season for What If. And I think, I think we're going to live with the ramifications of this particular episode for a while to come. So yeah. But look, man, let's stop fucking just sloppily going through the episode What If, and let's jump into some shit that is exciting, I guess. But this is like our 8,000th trailer for No Time to Die, and the movie seemingly will just never come out, but we will get endless trailers. Maybe we'll just get the entire movie through the trailers and we just won't have to go watch it, you know.
Yeah, every week they'll give you a new like 2-minute trailer, and then after 52 weeks you'll get the full movie. I think that's their strategy. That's
the strategy, man. So James Bond has left the active service. His peace is short-lived when Felix Leiter, an old friend from the CIA, turns up asking for help, leading Bond onto the trail of a mysterious villain armed with dangerous new technology. Directed by Cary Fukunaga and multiple writers on this film. This stars Daniel Craig, of course, reprising his role as Bond himself, but this will of course be his final role as Bond. And then you have Rami Malek. I love Rami Malek. I think he's great. Leigh Sadu, I believe that's how you pronounce her name, and then Lashana Lynch. This is supposedly due out on October 8th of this year, but we shall see. And exclusively to theaters, but again, we'll see if that holds true. Without any further ado, No Time to Die.
Bond, any thug can kill. I have to know I can trust you.
Well, I understand double O's have a very short life expectancy.
You are a kite dancing in a hurricane, Mr. Bond.
Is this really what you want? Always alone?
We used to be able to get into a room with the enemy. Now they're just floating in the ether.
When her secret finds its way out, it'll be the death of you.
Oh my God. Target enough people.
And the people become the weapon.
Who is he?
James, you don't know what this is.
James Bond, licensed to kill, in love with Madeline Swan. I could be speaking to my own reflection. Only your skills die with your body. And life is all about leaving something behind, isn't it?
Come on, Bond. Where the hell are you?
If we don't do this, there will be nothing left to save.
I have to finish this.
You ever flown like this?
Nope.
No Time to Die, the final trailer. What are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, it looked fucking great. I mean, of course it looked great. It's a James Bond movie. This looks like the big one, right? And I've loved all of the James Bond movies, like Quantum of Solace.
You loved Quantum of Solace? Holy shit, dude. You're
Yeah,
literally the only person who I've ever heard say they've liked that movie.
You know what? Casino Royale was my favorite.
Okay.
And then Spectre was my second. And then Quantum of Solace would be my third. I think this one.
Skyfall?
Oh yeah. Sorry. No. Reorder. So Casino Royale is my favorite. Skyfall is my second favorite. Then Spectre. Then Quantum of Solace. This one looks phenomenal as well. Who knows when it'll be out? But if we get from this movie what I expect we're gonna get, I think this is probably gonna be like the final outing that Daniel Craig's James Bond deserved. Because I mean, I can't think of a better Bond. Pierce Brosnan was my favorite, but he was more of like the suave, charming Bond. Daniel Craig brought an intensity and a physicality to this character that I don't think that I can't think of any other Bond actor who's played the role that's brought this to it. There's Roger Moore, there's Anthony Hopkins, there's who are the other ones?
Anthony. Well, I don't think Anthony Hopkins played.
Not Anthony Hopkins.
What's his
Anthony?
name?
It wasn't his Anthony. Damn it!
No.
Why am I forgetting? No.
Sean Connery. I think that's
Sean Connery. Yeah. Not Anthony Hopkins. Sean Connery. So I mean, we've had a lot of great, really stellar actors to play this role, but like Daniel Craig just brought something else to it. After this, it's going to be really, really interesting to see who takes on that mantle. But I think this last movie is going to give us exactly what we want in a final outing.
Yeah, coming off the heels of Spectre, I don't really have high hopes for this movie. I do have high hopes for it in the sense that, for one, it's like the last Daniel Craig iteration of Bond, but then also it's directed by Cary Fukunaga, who I think is just he's a fucking great storyteller, I think. Look, and I don't even need to name all of his movies. I just need to name one. Go back and watch. What's it called? I was about to say
how are you gonna say I only need to name one?
I was gonna say No Country for Old Men, but that's clearly not it. Beast of No Nation is the movie that I wanted to say, but for whatever reason it was floating around in my brain. But Beast of No Nation was it's an amazing film, like just amazing movie. And to have him helm a Bond movie it's going to be intense. I would have to think this movie is. At any event, I think it's going to have to be better than than Spectre and Quantum of Solace. Will it be better than Skyfall? Will it be better than Casino Royale? Time remains, we'll see. Time will tell. I don't know why I'm losing my words here, but yeah, that was our final, hopefully, trailer for No Time to Die. We'll see if it holds true with this October 8th released, and strictly in theaters, is from what I understand, that they're not doing any sort of digital release for it as well.
They're not trying to get that Scarlett Johansson lawsuit.
Well, look, Daniel Craig already fucking has his just mountains of millions, so he might not care as much as Scarlett Johansson. He might just be like, you know what, what's another fucking 30 fucking million to me? I don't give a shit.
He's gonna give it all
Do
away
whatever you
anyway.
want with it. Yeah,
he's gonna give it all away. His children will not receive. His children probably won't even get tickets to see the movie for free. He's like, no, it's distasteful.
He walks in and he's like, yeah, I don't know these guys. Yeah. They got to pay their own way.
They're like, Dad, like, here's us in the family photo. He's like, that's distasteful.
Yeah, why would you Photoshop something like that? That seems
like everyone else.
Yeah.
His kids probably have student loan debt.
Yeah. And he
which seems crazy.
At least they went to school, I guess, is maybe we'll be happy about that at least. All right, look, let's move on here to another trailer. We've got a trailer for My Son. This is about a man who goes to see his ex-wife in order to obtain answers about the disappearance of their son. This is directed by Christian Carrion, written by Carrion, as well as Laurie Ehrman, I believe that's how you pronounce their name, and stars James McAvoy, Claire Foy, Gary Lewis, Tom Cullen, and this is actually coming out on, God help me, Peacock is what this is coming out on. So that's a thing. And so yeah, without further ado, the trailer for My Son. Did you want to say something real quick? I'm sure getting the joke.
No, I just hope everybody got paid up front.
I'm sure they weren't doing points on this particular project. They probably were just like, look, just give me my cash up front and we'll call it even.
They're like, oh, you don't want the theatrical potential?
No, we're good. We're good.
No, we're good.
Yeah, just kidding. All right, trailer for My Son.
I've managed to have an experience that no actor gets to have. I hope we'll give the audience something really tangible that they can hang on as this thriller rattles along.
When I looked at his cabin, I could see his clothes were still in there, his bag was still in there.
We continue to interview everybody who has come into contact with your son. I understand that you've been traveling a great deal. You've been in Libya, Iraq.
Do you have reason to believe that it's because of what I do that Ethan is missing?
Now, Mr. Murray, I have to tell you that we are investigating every hypothesis, including kidnapping. Would you say your work was dangerous?
Have you even thought what sort of father you've been to your son?
I know I'm a bad dad. I know I'm never here.
But I think I found something. Just have a look at this.
At 2 o'clock, I get a call from this man. He's higher up than anybody in the police force. They asked me to come off this case. You're on your own, Mr. Murray.
You know what's been going on here? Do you know the cops came into the office? They've got the computers, they've got the hard drives, they've got all the Iraq files.
Tell me what I want to know. Where's my son?
Dude, I'm not gonna fucking lie to you here. That's kind of interesting. I don't know. Call me crazy.
God damn it, Peacock. You don't deserve this film. No, you don't. You know what? This is like when you see, like, you know, a guy or a girl out and their significant other's just way more attractive than they are. And it's like, how the fuck did you get that? You don't deserve that. This film looks way too good to be on Peacock.
Yeah.
This should have now. And you know, I honestly usually don't even James McAvoy. He's not like in my opinion, I don't love his films. Right? I think he's a great actor. I think he has range. I just don't like particularly love his work. Mm-hmm. But this looks good. This looks really good. Right. This should have like a theatrical release as well as like a streaming release on somewhere other than Peacock. This is like, oh God, this is like when a great football player gets drafted to a team, and you're like, yo, you know this kid is never gonna see the playoffs.
Yeah.
Fuck this. Listen,
Yeah,
if you end up signing up for Peacock, I'm gonna need that login because I won't.
Well, I think you might already have. Do you have cable?
No. What?
Oh, okay.
No. Maybe my neighbors do. Maybe my neighbors do, and I could steal theirs, but I don't think they do either.
Well, I was gonna say if you have like Expended, then you basically already have Peacock, but which is what situation I'm in. Yeah, this movie looks super interesting, not just because of like the device of James McAvoy not getting a script, but because it just looks like an interesting kind of mystery altogether. The added layer of him not having a script. Now, I will say that might be a technicality. Not having a script isn't the same thing as not getting pages. What I mean by that is, like, they could still give him, like, I'm assuming he's not fucking ad-libbing the entire movie, right? Like, that's not happening.
Yeah,
you know?
that'd be very difficult. He comes in like, what say you? It's like, no, that's
it's not what we were going for.
That's not this scene.
He just starts crying out of the blue. You're like, this is a comedy scene. This is a we're trying to
You're just having breakfast. You're just having breakfast.
He's just crying on every fucking scene.
Yeah, that could be a recipe for disaster. You don't give someone the script or the pages to the movie at all, and they're just like, "All right, action!" And they're just like, and they just start overacting.
Yeah. Just like, tears.
Like, no. Or they just start fighting. Like, yo, this is not that movie. This is not
He just goes
John Wick.
He goes full on Darth Vader in fucking Revengeance. No, and it's like, no, that's not. Nope. You're just supposed to be going at the car wash. You're just at the car wash right now. You're just getting your car wash.
You're just going for a walk. That's it. That's it. Just walk. Or like it's just B-roll. Like you don't even need to be in this scene. It's just B-roll. We're just catching background.
Holy shit. All right. Anyways, this movie is due out September 15th, actually, on the aforementioned Peacock. Look, I'm not gonna lie, man. It looks interesting enough. Depending on the runtime, I might check it out. I might check that out real quick.
Listen, this seems like a really good movie to sit at home. Like, again, I wouldn't go to the movies to see a theater like this because, like, I feel like there's certain movies that are meant or best watched at home, right? Where when the movie's going on, because this movie seems like there's a lot of moments where like people are searching, people are like looking for clues and mysteries, and it's like a lot of dialogue. There's a lot of like moments where like you're just like, moments that are just filled with sounds. Like, he's like they're walking through the woods searching for the kid, and those moments where it's not like dialogue heavy or action heavy, but it's just like it's filled with like sentiment. You know what I mean? Like it's filled with just like feeling. Where it's best watched on the couch with like your friend or your significant other, and you can like maybe even like talk about the things that are happening in the film. Whereas in the movie theater, I feel like that's like too for me like too public of a place to really really enjoy a film like this, where you can't even like talk really quickly about like what do you think is going to happen, or like did you hear that, did you see that type of thing,
Yeah, you went a long way for that. I don't know where the fuck you're going with that, but fair enough. You'll be glad to watch it at home. Okay. Fair enough, I get it.
Yeah, but I had to explain why.
Fair enough. But this movie, again, like I said, is due out September 15th of this here year on the Peacock streaming service, you sons of bitches. All right. Look, they've got the WWE network on Peacock, so I'm very familiar with, and also too they have The Office is now on Peacock, so I gotta watch Peacock for this. Look, they're nothing if not smart, because they knew nobody else was fucking with this shit if they didn't throw their Office on there, if they didn't get some wrestling on there, if they didn't get these like attractive things that everybody else fucks with on their service, so they could fucking lull us to sleep, so that we could just forget that it's there and just keep paying for it each month. But look, they do some apparently decent things every now and then. So
Peacock is like when like you're when you go to a strip club, right, and they're charging a cover at the door, and you pay the $20 cover at the door, and you get in, and there are only like 4 girls there, and you're just like, fuck, I cannot believe I just paid that cover to get in here. There's nobody here, but you're already there, so he's like, oh, I can't leave now. I'll have a beer. but they got you already. They fooled you, they tricked you, they bamboozled you. So you might as well watch a few episodes of The Office and My Son. See what happens.
Look, you called What If a little boring. That fucking that whole example that you just gave, that was pretty fucking boring myself. Let's just move on here.
It's happened to me many times. I was speaking from experience.
Fair enough. Let's go on to our last topic of the day, man. Look, I don't know if I have too much to say about this, but I just saw this in passing. I just thought it was hilarious. Look, we're getting an Expendables 4. For a movie that the whole premise is supposed to be the people in it are supposed to be expendable, meaning that they may or may not survive the movie. We are up to 4 movies now with pretty much the same cast throughout it.
Yeah, let's be real. Like, these guys are pretty dependable. They should just change the title of this movie. Like, you can count on these guys. If you hire them to do a job, it's going to get done.
That has some significant implications when you say the dependables with how old some of these dudes are. That brings on a completely different texture to both the movie and just irony altogether.
They're also all wearing Depends men's underwear. So
yes, that's exactly what I was going for as far as that brings a different complexity to it. But so Lionsgate revealed today that Frequent Expendables stars Jason Statham, Dolph Lundgren, Randy Couture, and of course Sly himself, Sylvester Stallone, will lead the team for the Expendables 4. But in addition to these 4 core cast members, the Expendables, who we don't know what the working title is for it yet, will feature 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson, Megan Fox, and Tony Jaa, who have been tapped to join the franchise in new roles. Weird cast of characters, for sure.
No. Tony Jaa makes sense. 50 Cent.
Tony Jaa makes sense. 50 less sense, and Megan Good.
No sense.
No sense at all.
They should have just brought in which sucks for her because it's like. She's still this young, beautiful woman, but she gets cast in this movie of old guys where you're literally just a young, hot girl in this movie. But we haven't really seen her in anything else.
But I think that might be them trying to sort of youngin up as well as gender up the movie a bit, because it's there's a lot of dicks running around here. I don't really think that we need to, maybe we just need something to break this up a little bit.
They should have just casted an older female actress in Hollywood that can go toe to toe with these guys, right? Like bring in a fucking, I don't know, Susan Sarandon or Helen Mirren or Meryl Streep or I don't know, or somebody. Bring in Lindsay Lohan. I don't know, somebody.
Well, I mean, they did bring in Megan Good, so
I don't know what the plot for this movie.
Oh, you know what? Megan Fox is different from Megan Good, right? Megan Fox is. Am I thinking? I think I'm confusing.
No, Megan Good is black. Megan Fox is white.
Oh shit! I was
Megan
thinking
Good is from
Megan
Cousin Skeeter,
Good.
remember?
Yeah. No, I was thinking Megan
Fox
Good
is
the
from
entire.
Transformers.
Yeah, that makes even less sense somehow. Megan Fox.
No, Megan Good would make no sense. Starring in this film with Stallone and all those guys.
At least I could, because she's been around for a hot minute. I don't know has Megan Fox been around for that long?
Nope.
Her first major film was wasn't that Transformers?
Yeah.
Because wasn't she was she a model before she was she was an actress? I don't fucking know. Dude, I don't fucking know. Nothing about this fucking movie seems to me. You know what? Why am I trying to make sense out of something that fundamentally doesn't need to make sense? Expendables doesn't need to fucking make sense. Just throw a bunch of old people, mix in maybe 1 or 2 young people. You're kind of good to go, So fuck it.
Now, will I watch this movie when it comes out? Yes, because I love everything Sly Stallone does.
Did you watch the first 3 Expendables?
Of course.
Not.
Were they great movies? Not one fucking bit. But there were a lot of big guns. A lot of people died. It was mindless, senseless action, unrealistic scenes. I feel like in a few, I'm surprised Vin Diesel is in this next one. Maybe he's still riding that Fast and Furious heat wave.
He's got like 18 other franchises of his own. So it's kind of like, at that point, it's kind of a hat on a hat in that case. So I imagine that, once he gets past Fast and Furious 10, then he might be in Expendables, 12. So,
probably
we'll wait on that.
Or, they might even just keep the Fast and Furious shit going. I wouldn't be surprised.
They'll just combine the two, the Expendable Fast and Furious. And then it's just about, they'll do
a mashup like Jason and Freddy, how they did that shit.
Yeah,
do Expendables X Fast and Furious.
Yeah, this time it's fucking Vin Diesel and who can speak slower, him or Sly? It'll just be a competition between them.
Oh my god,
family. What is Sylvester Stallone's line from all the fucking Rambo movies?
Does he have a catchphrase in Rambo?
It's like something about like being, if you stand for nothing or something like that, you'll fall for it, or some stupid shit like that. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just them. Like 45 minutes of the movie will just be spent on them trying to like get out like 3 sentences, and the movie will sell out opening weekend. It'll be fucking it'll do numbers opening weekend with just having them.
I just hope this movie isn't on Peacock, because then it's like, oh shit. Now you're giving me all the more reason to sign up for this thing that I don't want to sign up for. It's like when you get the extended warranty on your car, you're just like,
God damn it! I know this is. I'm never going to use this, but fuck. All right, fine.
Never going to use it.
Oh, yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get the fuck out of here. I am tired of sandbagging the fucking Expendables. But yeah, man. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. But yeah, if you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button, share this shit with anybody and everybody. But yeah, we'll be back. I don't know if you'll be back though. Next week, you'll be going under just a little bit of a procedure, just a little bit under.
No. So I got surgery it's gonna be on Friday, so I'll make the Wednesday show. Who knows if I'll.
It's 2 weeks from now. You know what? This is like the second time that this has happened to me, where I knew the date of something, and for whatever reason, I just like in my brain, I just moved it up, and I just was like, no, it's like next week, and it's like, no, it's an entire other week, but okay.
This year went by so fast, it's insane. Like we're still like talking about 2020, like 2020 was crazy, bro. All that shit that happened, but
it's about
2022. Is right around the fucking corner, and we still haven't recovered from 2020.
Yeah,
like the economy, everyone's health, like nothing.
Yeah.
But thank God it's almost football season, so you know what I mean. Like there's even in the darkest of times, there's that beacon of light that shines through.
Yeah, but only for about 17 weeks, and then back to the darkness.
And if your team doesn't make the playoffs, it's even darker.
Even less. And chances are you'll know by like week 8 if your team's gonna make it or not.
Oh God, yeah. And if your fantasy league doesn't, if you're not, if your team doesn't make the playoffs and you're not in the playoffs, like in your fantasy league, dark times.
Yeah, just start playing that song. Hello, darkness, my old friend. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're gonna get the fuck out of here. So until the next time, I think we will hit the very usual protocol.
Fade out.
Peace out, ladies and gentlemen. We out this biatch. Take care.